All right. I'm really happy with most of the work that I'm seeing. So you guys are doing great. Um, I just kind of want to let you know that I'm getting through as much as I can on the grading. I will always try to anytime I get a day off, I really try to tackle your guys' stuff. Okay, and just remember that you can always check your Blackboard and look at your points. Okay. Um, and let's see, what else was I going to mention? Okay, so also this week you'll see several links on your reading and viewing. Don't worry, and I've said this before, but I want to clarify again. Don't worry about reading thoroughly those links that you see on your reading and viewing section. So chapter 2 is ultimately what you're supposed to read. And then I'm asking you to kind of look at some highlighted things, which your My History Lab, which you should have at least for free on the online form, linked immediately, and you can go and take a look at that, those sources, okay? Just to clarify again, I'm gonna write this note to some of you. Some of you did not do the video notes properly. You only answer like a few, and what I've been telling you is if you sent me the video notes like just for video 1 or 2 and not all of them, just send the rest of them with your paper you're sending for today by tonight, okay? If you can do that, and if that somehow doesn't work, I'll just have to get them to send me to my private email and do them by hand when I get a chance. It'll just take me longer to grade. To be honest, doing it that way, but we can take care of it. And let's see, was there anything else? Okay, so I think that's mainly it. Oh, and for this week's discussion in particular, will probably be one of the most controversial of my of this semester. For the most part, yeah. Because it deals with ancient Israel and the Hebrews' influence on Western civilization. Now, that's not controversial. The controversial part is going over biblical history as it's literally told in the Bible compared to what we see in archaeology and secular historians. Now, you'll hear me kind of talk about this over and over again, but I'm very sensitive to the fact I come from a very religious background myself on both sides, and you'll hear me talk about that in other videos when we get with talking about the church and the Protestant, the European religious wars, that I had Catholic relatives with priests and nuns in my family, and then Baptist ministers on another side, and my grandfather was in the Christian Coalition, and I grew up around all of this culture. This is the culture I grew up in, and I noticed that the good chunk of my students every semester from Modesto say their favorite thing to do is read the Bible, and that's not, you don't hear that in every part of the country that people say that. By the way, it's a kind of a Central Valley culture. When I was in the Bay Area, I was surprised that nobody cared to debate about the Trinity or not. I was like, oh, in my family, there's like someone could drop like this topic, and it was like the religious debate would be at the table, like naturally. My neighbors, I worked at a coffee shop, same things where people talk about, and then I'm in the Bay Area, and people were like, huh, this is not their topic. Anyways, so this is a little bit, and I just want you to remind you that this is not an attack or an indoctrination aspect, but just to show you how there is those conflicts of the literal story. Now, I want to just also say very briefly, I know many pastors who believe the Bible is inspired of God, and the stories are spiritual truths, but not necessarily literal history. Now, I'm not pushing that on you at all. What I'm saying is that for them, these lectures wouldn't be a conflict to their faith. It's a little more tricky for people who believe in the literalness of the Bible. I'm not asking you to believe different, just to learn this other way that historians look at things. And you'll see what I mean when we go over the lectures, okay? And this may be the greatest section that kind of like puts you in an uncomfortable spot. I also, when I talk about wars or religious wars, I'm not a pacifist. I'm a critic. Look, here's what it comes down to. I grew up in a pacifist Christian tradition. I am not a pacifist myself now. So, but I'm very familiar and comfortable with a wide range of views, and I will try to press you guys a little bit to get you out of your comfort zone enough to just face alternative points of view in a way that gets you to really think about these topics from a broader set of perspectives, but without trying to cram any particular ideological bent down your throat. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. You got enough to follow with me talking blah blah blah, and I do repeat myself sometimes. It's the gray hair. You get older, you start telling the same things over and over again and think that you're being innovative every time. You're just repeating like I just did right now. All right, have a good week. Always contact me if you've got any questions.